Okay, we've got some kind of... Oh! Enemy here. That is a big, bad spider, is that not? Hello, big, bad spidery dudes. Are they the little ones, or are they actually... That's a big one. I think. Is it? It's been a while. So I kind of forget the proportions. That one over there that just ran off is definitely a small one. I think this is a big one. And level 47 is quite high. You can step into the Yrden, though. This is the problem with these guys, is they are weak to the Yrden, but they do not like to step inside it. Yeah, this is concerning how many hits this is taking us to get rid of some of them. Ooh, I was not even trying to actively dodge that one at the time, but fortunately I happened to be sidestepping. Okay, let's given how much damage they can take, let's make a point of putting on our insectoid oil here. Even though they are technically not insectoids, they are arachnids, thank you very much. Well, actually, Lids, it's insectoid, not insect. Clearly that is a different definition. Okay, could you stop running away? Is kind of what I mean. Like, please just let us fight you. This is... I'm not here to play chase. It's one thing if you don't want to step into our Yrden. That's cool. That's understandable. But at least let us fight you. Okay, then is this the big one back here, I think? I don't think we've gotten the big one yet. There might still be more up there. I think there are. I think this is the big bad one.
What now?
Hello, good sir. I sprinted, and so I don't have the stamina to put in Yrden down here. Could you please hop into our Yrden? I would prefer if you would, like, hop into our Yrden. Haha! You fell for our trap. Thought you trapped us. And we pulled out our big old Uno reverse card on you. Yeah, I'm seeing one more up here, I think. I'm guessing this is going to be a small one. Oh, there's two more. Usually there's only one big spider in each group. So I'm hoping it's just small ones at this stage, but that one's small. Don't know about the other one. Haven't really seen the other one yet. Oh, you just walked right through. Oh, that's a big one. Okay, so one big, one small. We hurt this one already, apparently. It ran away after we fought it. Please come back. I was not really making a point of sneaking in the strong attacks there for our extra bonuses, but that is something we're going to want to do more of in the future. It's going to be a bit of an effort to break the habit, given how much we have used fast attacks almost exclusively before. But against those enemies that are just so elusive, kind of hard to get into strong attacks anyway. That may be wishful thinking. Apparently we've been... Oh, we're going in the wrong direction. We are going in the wrong direction, first of all. Head back this way. I was going to say, there's this little fork in the road. Wonder which way we go. Clearly, we do not have the power of Reginald at the moment. Run out of stamina quite quickly. Yeah, but we actually want to go this way towards our custom marker. Means, at least for a little while, yeah, we're going past our fast travel spot and the runes. But what is this? More spiders. I mean, they do have some decent crafting materials, I think. And they're level 47, which is higher than us, right? Same level as us right now. So, should be among the best experience we can get from random enemies. There are a lot of them right now, including this big one. So, as much as I was complaining about them running away from us last time, I actually did not really want them to chase after us that go around. Okay, now that you are in the circle that... Whoa, that hurt. Hello? like, get rid of one of you first, please. That would be great. So, we're splitting damage more than I'd like to be splitting damage. They're, for whatever reason, being more aggressive this time around. It's like they know they have us outnumbered this time. Okay, somebody, there we go. Somebody step into the Yrden, please. Preferably... Whirl, whirl, whirl. Go for it, Carol. Whirl away. Oh, and then they all run away. No! They were right next to each other. It was the perfect opportunity. Uh-oh, uh-oh, uh-oh. Yeah, so we like Yrdening, and then even if they hit us with that web attack and freeze us temporarily, they usually swarm us when they do hit us with the freeze attack. And so we can use that when you counter quickly enough and you jump over us, but you miss. Attack it, please. Okay, it was acting a little strangely there, but we did take out the big one. Are there any more big ones? Are they all small ones at this stage? You're small. I think they're all small. Okay, but these ones tend to be more elusive. You want to engage. That's cool. You want to engage. Now. That's cool. You're the only one left, buddy. Can we do that? Oh, well, I mean, great timing. Yeah, I like that Axie strategy there. Lock them down a bit. Because they don't behave with the Yrden. They're too mobile. Now, if you can get them in there, great, but just so often we can't. Or they're just in there momentarily and then they leave. So it's not a very realistic strategy, I don't feel. That guy looked like he was still alive for a second there. Okay, so let's continue heading this way. Oh. Other elven ruins? Question mark? Not the same ones? Not the same ones. Huh. Interesting. Okay. The question mark is further this way. Let's save. Guarded treasure. What are those? Those vampires of some sort? This might be Fletters. Or Garcanes. Which we saw, Fletters at least, we saw briefly in that Regis Bloodlust mission. But we've not really seen other vampires much, or other, we haven't seen Garcanes at all yet, I don't think. We haven't seen Fletters outside of that mission at all, I don't think either. Let's put on our vampire oil. I think is this one? Yeah. And our sword could use a repair. Okay, let's do that. 40% is just about perfect. Okay. Yeah, I think they're either Fletters or Garcanes. Let's read up on what is technically the preferred strategy against them. Because I certainly do not remember. Let's see. Yeah, we have Deadloff is showing up in Vampires. But we have, under Beast, the Beast of Beauclair, and they're one and the same. That was kind of strange. I remember I was commenting at the time how when we first saw the Beast of Beauclair showing up in the Beast category, I was like, but don't we have strong hints to suggest that he's actually a vampire? So I thought that he'd move. But he didn't move, he's now in both places. So Fletters, Vampire Oil, oh, and Black Blood, makes sense. So the deceased corpse was completely mutilated. All that remained of the nose was a hole clotted with blood. One eye socket had been chewed beyond all recognition. Mandible had been torn off. Seeing this, Sergeant DeVate vomited profusely, and administration of smelling salts was required. The investigation has been discontinued, and the deed attributed to a supernatural being. Fragment of a Toussaint Ducal Guard report. Letters are classified as lesser vampires. Though weaker than the rest of their ilk in every aspect, from the physiomagic to the physiognomic, they should not be underestimated, for they are very, very dangerous. Fletters cannot be mistaken for any other creature, with their wide, toothy jaws, flat, unpleasant faces, and completely hairless, often warty bodies. These vampires mainly fight with their teeth and claws, flailing them blindly and not stopping even when their victim is already dead. Even a solitary fletter is strong enough to take down a trained soldier. Compared to other vampires, fletters display meager intelligence, seen most clearly in the mindless rage which causes them to try all their might to attack and tear to shreds any weaker being. When fighting fletters, it is best to take advantage of their particular method of movement. These creatures do not run, but they do try to catch their prey and knock it over by leaping. Yeah. That was, even in The Witcher 1, very much a thing. They would basically just, like, fly into the air, disappear momentarily, and then they just, like, slam down right next to you. Sometimes when you don't know they're coming, and startle you. So these creatures do not run, but they try to catch their prey and knock them down by leaping. Knowing this behavior, one can plan the fight appropriately and not let oneself be caught by surprise. Okay, well, sure. What do we do in response to that? We can know that they're going to try that, but is there a counter to it? They are vulnerable to vampire oil as well as black blood. Okay, well, I mean, sure. Well, let's throw on black blood. Is that this one? Yeah. Okay, we'll get rid of Killer Whale. And this, then sure, we'll activate the other one as well. And did we put on the vampire oil? We did, right? We repaired and put on the vampire oil. Yeah. Okay. Well, bring it on. There's a lot of them. There's a whole lot of them. Hey guys, how's it going? Yeah, they're fletters and a Garcane. Okay. Whoa, there's the jump. Yep. There is the jump. Yeah, Garcane is basically a bigger fletter. Oh, there goes other jumps. That guy's huge, the Garcane. I mean, they may be... You see how much damage that dealt? Maybe, quote-unquote, lesser vampires, but that was no joke. There was a while in The Witcher 1 where they were some of the strongest enemies we fought. What? We got, like, sonic attacks as well. We have an entry on the Garcane, because if we do, then I feel like that is also definitely something we should read right about now. Because there was no mention of these, like, shouty attacks. Garcanes. Blood on the ceiling, guts on the walls, must be a Garcane. Gan of Len Exeter, investigator and captain of the City Watch. Garcanes, like fletters, belong to the class of particularly dangerous vampires whose strength exceeds even that of fiends. An encounter with one of their number almost always ends in death, which is why there are not many eyewitness accounts of them. When the city guard reports written up in Lan Exeter describing the attacks committed in the city of 1104 by 3 Garcanes, later killed by a certain Oliver of Gullet, Witcher, it seems these horrible creatures, these horrible monsters, do not content themselves with drinking the blood of their victims. The investigators concluded from the blood and guts strewn around the crime scenes that Garcanes tear their victims to shreds with great delight and muck about in their bloody entrails. Great. Garcanes belong to the group of creatures known as lesser vampires. They often gather around themselves members of other subspecies of lesser vampires, acting in such situations as leaders of the pack. They are, by and large, unable to run, but can jump a great distance and often attack their prey in that way. During combat, they usually keep their distance from their foes, trying to incapacitate them using a blast of mental energy, because that's what we're seeing, provoking visions that beguile and disorient. Yeah, we did have sort of blurry vision as well. Before grappling a Garcane, one should drink the Black Blood Potion and stock up on vampire oil. It should also be remembered that the Samum and Moondust bombs are always effective weapons against any mental attacks. Okay. That is probably something we're going to need to do because, well, this is looking to be a very difficult fight. Samum and Moondust. We have Samum on at the moment. Moondust, is that the one that prevents creatures from using special abilities, including ourselves? Like, would prevent us from using signs, or is that Dimeridium? Blocks magic and monsters' magic abilities. I think it's that stops it. Right, now I'm getting them mixed up. Was it Dimeridium that they suggested, or Devil's Puffball, or... Now I'm getting them all mixed up. I think we'll rely on Samum anyway. Okay, but we really just need some time here to get some life back. Except we are retreating into other enemies. Drowners over there. We are technically now out of combat. Let's take this opportunity to, just like heal up a little bit. We could even get rid of those drowners over there just to make sure we don't accidentally retreat into another round of enemies. We're close to running out of our black blood here. Doesn't last that long. We'll definitely make sure that we reactivate that. But I want to get back to more or less full HP. Is Moon Dust? Okay. Yeah, let's throw it on in that case. Moon Dust. Not that. There it is. Okay. Replace Northern Wind with that. What's the deal with the Moon Dust? What is that supposed to do? Permanently prevent monsters from transforming. Okay. Sure. Don't really think they're transforming per se, but if you say so. No indication of what signs are best against them, I don't think, which is unfortunate. Because that, I feel like, is something that I would like to know. But here we go. Look, there they are. Okay, the black blood does deal damage to them when we are close by, at the very least. So that is something. Yeah, they have taken some damage. They're going to start doing their jumpy thing, and there goes the sound attack, possibly. I'm trying to throw this bomb at you, except it flew way over. Okay, let her down. That's the Garcane, which I would like to throw this at right now. There we go. Okay, Garcane down. That's huge. We actually dealt more damage than the first go-round than I thought we had. I wonder how much of that was from the Black Blood. Okay, come on, Gale. Come on, Gale. Also, please keep your sword drawn. How many do we have left? I think it's just Flutters. Our Black Blood might have expired now? Maybe not. Is that the last of them? It might be. I mean, there's something over there, but that's far enough away that I think that's going to be a separate group of enemies. So, mission accomplished, I think. And like I said, we have not fought many of those Flutters or any Garcanes, I don't think. I'm going to loot the bodies first. Then we'll check out the other stuff here. Like Vampire Blood, I don't think we have much of, because I don't think we got that from the higher vampires that we've fought previously. And that's the strange thing, is like, Catachan is technically a higher vampire, right? And we fought Catachans for a while. And yet these Flutters and Garcanes are lesser vampires, and we have fought them less, and they are in some ways more powerful. But they don't have some of the other abilities that the Ekimaras have, right? Where they can transform. They can change shape. Which Flutters and Garcanes cannot. And they're generally not as smart. Well, there's look at its face. Beautiful. Beautiful face. Okay. Let's check this out. Professor Noel... Oh, okay, so this is the professor. Gotcha. The one that we heard about in the previous campsite. Lots of monies. Ooh. Red to green mutagens. Probably not going to be one we use, but also a Witcher diagram. Not a technically one associated with any given school, but it is green, which means it is technically Witcher stuff. Let's see. Professor Noel Ivar's journal. Journal has been kept chaotically, like it was in the previous case, full of stains, blots, incomprehensible scribblings, and the entries are not dated. Every day I regret what I said to them. How could I have been so foolish? Why did I not agree to become her sister? This is the same thing. Okay, it's the same journal. Okay. We got the formula. And oh, and we got this. Hold on. What is this? Old letter. letter appears to have been read hundreds of times. Some words have been worn away. My dearest Noel, I know you don't support my decision. Understand it was not easy for me, but I have decided. I will lead the expedition to the Terminus Ruins. The information I might acquire there will mark a new height in my career. Illegible fragment. I do not know what arguments I would have to use for you to understand I do not seek to rival you. I understand this is a matter of ambition to you, but our scholarly work should not affect things between us. I believe once you have pieced it all together in your head, you will join us as my assistant, and together we shall discover the legible fragment. Yours forever, Isabel. Yeah, so it seemed like there was some kind of competitive rivalry of sorts between two scholars. There's also sort of a romantic flame, if you will. Some question as to, well, that's a steeper drop-off than I thought. Some question as to, what the motives behind all that stuff was. Was it purely out of academic ambition? Or was it to, impress the other? Okay. So I think that was the question mark here, right? At this stage, we're mostly just poking around, and there are drowners around. We'll see what level they are, and we'll see if there's other stuff around here that we might be able to loot, like this boat and what have you. Hello, drowners. Goodbye, drowners. I hear another one. There's something showing up here. There you are. Whoa. That one went flying. Okay. So is there anything else down here? Because this is getting to be a pretty remote location at this stage. Like, I would think if we start to go further south, we might even reach the end of the world soon. Which, there is some benefit to doing that, in fact, because if we wanted to, we could get a free fast travel out of it. And that could bring us back to here or wherever, really. There were also additional drowners up further north. And again, some question as to what, if anything, we're actually guarding. Now, what is this? That does not sound like a drowner. That's a bear. 46 bear, which is on the high end, and therefore potentially worth some experience, but at times we've deliberately left bears alone because we respect the wildlife. I imagine this is going to take us to the end of the world.
Yeah. Requires a fellowship. Ought to cobble one together.
So yeah, we could, if we really wanted to, use that to fast travel somewhere. But let's just check a little bit further north, see if there's anything where those other drowners were. And there are these ruins around here. Didn't really seem like there was nearly as much stuff as we saw in the previous set of ruins. So I don't think there's much to loot in this area. Well, we might have missed something here. That we did. Yeah, the lesser and higher vampires is more about their intellect. That makes sense. More about their intellect and less about their overall combat abilities. Yeah, so there were a few more drowners over here. I just want to see if they're guarding much of anything, or if they're truly just sort of a random group of drowners. Yeah, so like, there, for example, is our Iggy, which dealt almost no damage. It was more than anything just a way to sort of stagger them. But Axie is probably better at that than Igni is. The duration is longer. So that's why I think, for the most part, Axie is probably going to work its way more into our regular combat routine. Okay, so is there anything along this coastline over here? Or is this pretty simple, straightforward stuff that we don't care about? This is the place where, we were planning to go back up here at some point. This is where we freed that guy from the bandits. And we were expecting to have potentially some things to loot here. But we'll see just how much, if any, things there actually are. Okay, at least a little bit. some gold, some silver. Yeah, so this is what we wanted to head back up for. Some of it's junk, of course, but it's something. It is something. Anything up here look like there might be something as well? Not really? Okay. So we at least got that. Does this lead anywhere? There's like kind of a path. Then it ends quickly. And there's this path, which we may have used to go down here previously. I think we did? Okay. So I think we've now explored the majority of this section. And at this stage, we may, in fact, be looking now for a way out of here, and I think, for that reason... Oh, we could, in fact, go up north across this bridge that we're about to encounter and see what the deal is with this question mark, and then maybe make our way back up to Flovive. There was, I think, one of the Witcher school diagrams was right around Flovive. It might have been, I forget, there was that place that had the cave system that we were saying at some point in time we'd want to break into it, but we deliberately held off and saved it for a future occasion. That might have been this. Yeah, that's a good point. We've been doing a lot of question marks as of late, so why don't we hop into a quest here? Or the other thing I was thinking of doing was stopping back off at the rune right to improve our armor. Either way, I think we will want to make it to a fast travel spot, because none of those things are nearby right now. Let's hop on Roach, get over to one of those fast travel spots.
Come on, Roach.
Yeah, and we've sort of cleared out this area, so I think this is a good stopping point for pursuing the question marks here. Those just a bunch of wolves? Yeah. So let's head back and ignore the wolves. Okay, here's our fast travel spot. Thank you, Roach. And let's head over. I think we should head over to Novigrad now to do that. I'm trying to think of. Obviously, we've been in Toussaint for. We ever left Toussaint since we started Blood and Wine? We just gone everything Toussaint from here on out at this stage. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that we need to go to different areas to do. Definitely not Vizima, but like White Orchard probably not. Like Skellige. Do we have any reason why we might need to go back to Skellige? I mean, there's the quest that we're probably never going to finish for finding all the books. But there's also the person on that island. There's also a griffin there, which was supposedly the most powerful enemy in the base game, which we've not yet fought. At some point, we probably will want to do that, although that might be kind of fun to make that the very last thing we do. So if that's sort of like the highest enemy, I mean, we probably have encountered higher level enemies now in Toussaint, because that's DLC territory, but that might be kind of a ceremonial way to finish things off. There is also a quest in Flovive, but it's a high level. Okay, so why don't we... Oh, and like Kaer Morhen? I doubt we have any reason to go back to Kaer Morhen. Let's just go to Novigrad. And let's go over to the Rune Right. And that's basically like right here. And we'll spend some money on upgrading our gear. Okay, so Rune Right is over here. And where are you at the moment? Over here.
The world's never-ending creation be praised.
Okay, so we would like to enchant some of our gear. I think we want to enchant Erendite comes to mind, our sword, or silver sword specifically. And then we may have some enchantments or some rune stones on our armor, although I think it may just be our chest plate, and I'm not sure it's really what we want to have long term. I think we can be a little more ambitious here, because this is probably going to be our armor, potentially for the rest of the game. So, you know, if that's the case, then why not invest in it now?
For me, would you?
So, but the question is then, what do we go for? We do need more sockets on some of these, but we can make that happen, right? He can add sockets to stuff. Yeah, I'm surprised Erendite doesn't have any sockets. Wow, very surprising. That does cost a lot actually to do that, but I think we definitely want to make that happen, because this is presumably going to be our silver sword for the rest of the game as well. So why not make it as good as possible? So let's do this. Is this a one socket at a time type thing? Yeah, unfortunately it is. That's a hefty price. It gets more expensive the more sockets we add. Wow. So this costs a lot. But now it has 3 sockets, which means we can enchant. So let's see. Yeah, we may. Can we add the sockets? No, we can't add sockets to our gloves or boots, right? So we can't have those enchanted. What do we... Can we see what we have? I actually kind of want to double check what the deal is with our chest plate first, because we have something in that right now, but I think it's like Quen sign intensity. I think it's Quen sign intensity, which now that we've de-emphasized, yeah, it's 30% Quen sign intensity in total. But now that we've de-emphasized our signs, I feel like it's not really doing us that much good. I mean, it's still doing something for sure. We are still using Quen with some regularity, yes. But I think we can probably do better. And then we'll definitely upgrade our Erendite.
The world's never-ending creation be praised.
So let's do this.
Craft something for me, would you?
And what do we want? Ooh, we might need some new rune stones, which I think we can purchase from him if necessary. When an opponent influenced by Axii dies, the effect transfers to a nearby target. We were saying how Axii will become more so one of our go-to signs. The effect's duration increases by 2 seconds for each blow the affected target lands. Wait, does that mean if they attack us when Axii, it increases the duration? Why would they're not going to attack when they're Axii? The wording there is off, I think. I assume that means if we attack them while they are Axii, it increases the duration. That seems like that could be strong. Potentially very strong if we go all out on... Or we make a very committed effort to Axii first, attack the people who are Axied, and then the Axii just basically moves from one enemy to the next. That could be kind of nifty. That intrigues me. All equipped armor. Treated as light armor? No thanks. It is light armor. Although that is one way that we could, if we really liked some of the other Witcher gear, we could deliberately put this on. Some of that, but in the case of Cat School gear, that's not relevant because it's already light armor. Chance of returning a portion of the damage received to the attacker. I think that's... We don't really want to be taking any damage. Both set up by Igni, Ignite, and Explode. Our Igni is not really as big of a factor anymore. Gurden stuff. Gurden Glyph is placed in that position. Enemies affected by Axii will affected for 2 seconds longer for each blow they land. Basically just a worse version of Possession. Possession does intrigue me a lot. 100% chance you will automatically gain a Quen shield without using any stamina at the beginning. Usually we see the battles coming, and we preemptively Quen, so I don't think that's really a factor. So I think we go, unless there's something really amazing here. Hitting enemies with Ard reduces their stamina. Dude, it's heavy armor? No thanks. Igni higher chance to ignite and has radius? Nah. Armor deflects all arrows? Convenient, but probably not worthwhile. Well, when an enemy affected by Axii dies, the effect transfers to nearby target. Yeah, so this is again it's a combination of 2 different enchantments, the Possession one. But Possession, for that reason, just seems like that's really good. I think we try this out. This feels like it's a little gimmicky, yes, but if we commit to going all out on Axie at the beginning of fights, kind of like we used to do with Igni, then this could become super powerful. So I'm intrigued. It's definitely something that will be stronger against numerous enemies, less so against bosses, but even then, if the Axie duration increases for 2 seconds every time we hit them, even that could stun them for a very long time. So this intrigues me a lot. We need a greater glyph of binding, though, which we may be able to craft or buy. I forget, can we craft those runestones by ourselves?
Thanks. So long.
I think we can. I don't think we need this guy to do it for us. So it was binding, right? Let's see. Upgrades. Only blacksmiths can forge weapons. But like, these are not weapons, nor are they armor. This is what we need. We need lesser glyphs of... Okay, I mean, we might just buy this one from them. Otherwise, we're going to have to go through several rounds of purchasing the lower level ones and then upgrading those. And at that point, is it still cost effective to do the more do-it-yourself approach? Maybe not.
Wouldn't mind a glance at what you got.
So let's just buy one of these outright. I assume you have one. Was it a normal or was it a greater? I actually don't remember. You have some other runestones here, which, to tell you the truth, I mean, like, are we really going to use our lesser glyphs of Quen? Probably not. I mean, we could theoretically upgrade them into normal glyphs and then greater glyphs, yes, true. But that's potentially some room to sell some things to him there. We'll hold on to it for now, just in case we have plans of doing more enchantments with future gear, which we might. So, I think... I mean, like, it's not the end of the world if we buy both of them. It is expensive, yes, but, like, we might end up using this for other stuff that we enchant anyway. It's like, we'll buy the great... We're not buying 4, but we will buy 1, I think. Let's double check. Was it a greater that you need? No. Yeah, it was. Okay, that's perfect. Okay, so yeah, we'll enchant our feline armor, but every time an opponent with Axie dies, we transfer that over to a nearby target. I don't know how nearby they have to be. That's another thing that, you know, will be interesting to test out. But I think this will be quite strong. I think that will be quite strong. And then Erendite, now on the sword side, every time you cast a sign, the adrenaline point is consumed and your next sword attack is started. This was the one that I was looking for so long. This was the one that I really wanted when we were first looking at enchanting stuff, and for some reason I went over a bazillion different combinations and I never saw this. Maybe it was because we were looking at enchanting armor rather than swords, but this one sounded really cool. The thing is that, now that our signs are not as strong, I don't know if that means that this would not be as powerful either. Like, is the effectiveness of our sword taking on the aspect of our sign, is that based on how much we've upgraded our signs? Or is it just sort of like a, no matter how much you've upgraded them, you always have a 10% chance to ignite enemies if you use Igni, and a 10% chance to stun them if you use Axie, and what have you. Because this could potentially be another way of more sustainably applying Axie. It may not be necessary, quite frankly. It may not be necessary to do it if we are just manually casting it at the beginning of fights anyway. Let's see what our alternatives are, but this could be... I mean, it's I think the most interesting and perhaps most elaborate of enchantments, so in that way, it's kind of cool, and I wanted to try it out a lot before, but I just couldn't find it. When at maximum vitality, any vitality regeneration turns into added damage. That would work. Somewhat based on us getting the random potion triggering. when we apply critical effects to people. And if we happen to get something that gives us vitality regeneration and we're at full vitality regeneration, or we're at full vitality, then maybe that gives us some extra damage in that case, but that seems unlikely. Each unblocked blow increases potion duration time. Ooh. By unblocked blow, does that mean every time we hit an opponent and don't get blocked, or does that mean every time an opponent hits us and it isn't blocked? Because if it's us getting hit, then of course that's kind of a double-edged sword there, then I'm not sure we want to go down that route. But if that's us attacking them, then that would work very well with our other ability that has potions active when we apply critical effects. Although, then again, we're probably triggering that so regularly, and there is a cap at 2 potions at a time, that we may not really need the duration. Increase the range of world. This was the one that we used previously. Severance. So I think this is the safe bet. We could definitely do this. Each fatal blow dealt increases or restores your stamina by 25%. Not out of the question. It's not very exciting, but fatal blows dealt with your sword give more adrenaline points. Armor stable grindstone bonuses never expire. Any food consumed regenerates a lot more vitality, but everything tastes like pierogies. I see no downside. Once at maximum level, adrenaline points steadily decline until they reach 0. During this time, vitality and stamina regeneration are accelerated and toxicity declines more quickly. I don't think so. Yeah, I think it's either the... Wait, where'd it go? I think it's either this or... How much did we like? Configuration? Not that much. I think it's either replenishment or it's severance. We did severance before, so I feel like this might be sort of redundant with the ability that we picked up on our chest plate, as long as we're already planning on using the Axie at the beginning of a fight anyway. But let's try it. I'm intrigued. Let's try it. So we are now, I think, much more...
Thanks. So long.
...of a battle mage of sorts, if you will. Axie is very much a prominent component of our combat style, even more so than it was before.
It is to see you again. Quite a pleasure.
I was just seeing if we might sell some other random junk to you, because I
What did
think we
you
do
bring
have some
from
lying
the fair?
around.
Mind if I have a look?
Because we do have this, and you don't have a ton of money, and actually I don't think you're paying great rate for this stuff. So maybe we pass for now. Yeah, I'm intrigued to try that stuff out, those upgrades that we just made.
Take care now.
Go, and in the world glory.
Yeah, Severance is definitely still fun, so it was tempting.
Be praised. Farewell.
Like I said, I think it was, in many ways, it was the safe option. So, like, if we try this out and we don't love it on Erendite, then we could potentially put Severance on our Steel Sword. You know, mostly just want to try out something new here, and if we don't like it, then we could potentially go back to Severance. But it's kind of it's a been there, done that. Not to say that it's not good, because it definitely was, but I want to see what this one's all about too.